Hey up everyone, I'm back again. I just wanted to do a quick review of the Lumia 1320, which was released quite recently by Nokia. It's quite a beastly device, not something that, if you like your small phones, then you better look away because it's certainly quite hefty, known as a phablet or a phoneblet, as some people like to call them. As you can see, there's no chance of using this particular device with one hand. No way of getting your thumb around it. However, it doesn't feel too heavy. It feels quite manageable in terms of the heft of it. I like the way that they've rounded the corners as well, unlike the 1520, which look a bit sharp. On the back, you've got a plasticky type of matte battery cover, which is removable. It has a very small speaker there, as well as a 5 megapixel camera with flash. The volume rockers are on the side, thankfully, so you don't have to, stretch your thumb all the way to the top or anything. And you do get a dedicated camera shutter button. I think if you take the size out of the equation, then the device has a very nice, I'd say, design to it. In terms of it's not too flashy. It gets the job done, but it does look quite formal and just like something that you could take to like a work meeting or something. As I said, the back does come off, and just try and do that. It's another difficult one to take off, kind of like the Desire 500, but you can get it off eventually. And inside it, you'll find a huge battery, which is about 3000 mAh, along with a micro SIM slot and expandable storage, which I think supports up to 32 gigabytes SD cards. So that's a welcome bonus. To put the lid back on, it snaps on quite easily. Usually. I'm not putting it on properly. Putting it on upside down. Try this way. Kind of just clicks in, and does feel solid when it is on. There's no creaking or anything. Yeah, as you can see, you are going to have to deal with the size with this device. There's no escaping that it is going to probably bulge in your pocket a bit. But when you do turn on the display, you're greeted with a nice 6-inch LCD panel, which is 720p at 245 ppi. So quite a lot of other Lumia handsets, the display looks very nice with Windows 8. It doesn't appear jagged or anything, even though the display is quite large. You've got very nice vibrant colours as well. The colour accuracy is very good for this device. I was expecting the screen to be quite a lot lower quality, for saying it's can be picked up for about, I think, 250 quid now. But you're not really sacrificing too much in comparison to the 1520. Only the fact that it is 720p as opposed to 1080p, as well as it doesn't have the clear black technology, I don't think, which means that the blacks around here don't kind of melt into the sides of the phone, so you can't tell where the screen ends. I really like that about the Nokia Lumia 925, for example, which does support that. But I'm very happy with the display. I think that outdoors visibility is very good, and because of that huge battery, it means you can crank the brightness up to the max without worrying about it. So as you can see, viewing angles are very nice as well and decent. Again, that can be traced to the IPS technology. So yeah, all in all, it's a very nice screen, and I don't think most people will be unhappy with it. In regards to the specifications of the device, you're looking at dual-core Snapdragon S4 with 1 gig of RAM and 8 gig internal storage. So roughly similar in terms of specs to the old Moto X, which I think is clocked about the same. But in regards to performance, Windows 8 is very good in regards to keeping a very smooth experience on minimal hardware. I would say it does feel a little bit faster than the Moto X, but that's just my opinion. Things load up very quickly on the device. There's no lag or anything. As you can see, I've been torrenting on it. One thing that I don't like about Windows 8 is the lack of a back button on Internet Explorer. This is actually running Windows 8.1, so I was expecting that, but it seems it doesn't seem to be coming onto the 1320, which is quite annoying. But there are other browsers you can install which do have a back button. But in regards to the actual viewing experience of web pages, as you can see, the massive screen allows you to see so much more content than like a smaller device, which while the smaller device may be more portable, you really do notice like just how much content that you can see on it. It just completely feels like a tablet in your hand kind of thing. But yeah, as I said, the performance when you're looking at web pages and browsing, no real issues whatsoever. Very snappy. Probably doesn't feel as fast as the 1520 because that's got a Snapdragon 800, but I mean, you can't really complain for this type of price point. I was expecting it to be like a MediaTek processor or something. It would have been nice if Nokia did up the RAM to 1.5 gigahertz. I think that would have made it just that little bit more better in terms of multitasking. But in general, you're not going to have any issues really going from one thing to another. Everything just opens up very nice and smoothly. If you want to go back to something that you've opened previously, you can hold down the back button and go to it. If you want to quickly search for something, you can hold down the magnifying glass as well, and it will recognise your voice.
Searching for call down the magnifying glass is 1.
Not quite as well integrated as the Moto X, but in general, it it gets the job done. One thing that I have noted is that even though I am running Windows 8.1 on the device, I still can't see Cortana. It's supposed to be in settings somewhere, but for some reason it's not coming on the device, so I'll have to look into that. But yeah, I think specs wise, it does the job, and no doubt the dual core processor does help the battery life, which I have to say is absolutely fantastic. One nice thing that they've done with Windows 8.1 is the fact that you can see the percentage quickly by just scrolling that down. And I've been using this heavily all day and a bit last night as well, and it's still on 39%. So you're not going to have any issues with battery life on this device. I think that's a common good point about phablets. In regards to the camera, as I said before, it's got a 5 megapixel camera, which can be quickly accessed by just holding down the shutter button. I'd say the camera quality is decent. It's unfortunately, it doesn't carry over a lot of the Nokia stuff from the 925, the 1020, and the 1520, such as the Smart Cam and Pro Cam, etc. But it does have some cool features, such as burst shot mode. It can record in full HD as well, which is quite decent. It gets the job done. I'll upload a sample of the full HD so you can decide for yourself if it's very good or not. I think one area where it does struggle a little bit is indoors, where it can look a bit grainy when the light is quite low and you're under harsh light. But I think overall I've been pleasantly surprised with the camera. I don't think too many compromises have been made to make it just something decent. Yeah, I think Nokia have done quite well there. In regards to the sound quality out of that little speaker at the back, I have to say that I wasn't expecting much from it because you can see it looks quite pitiful. I do wish that Nokia had made a bigger speaker on the device, such as the Moto X, which does have quite a nice loud speaker. I find that the speaker on the 1320 to be a bit poor. I can give you a sample of it. What can we search for? Let's have something nice and bassy, such as
push me, and then just touch me, till I can get my satisfaction. Push.
That's strange. Usually it doesn't do that. Let's try that again.
Push me, and then just touch me, till I can get my satisfaction. Push me, and then just touch me, till I can get my satisfaction. Satisfaction.
So yeah, as you can see, it does sound quite decent. It's going to get the job done, but I've got to admit that it's probably not as loud as I'd like it to be. A bit weak along the lines of the Nexus 5 and Z1, but through the headphones it does sound quite a lot better, and you do get access to Nokia's some Nokia apps such as Nokia Music. Nokia Music does have some quite nice audio things that you can play with. You can't use these with the speaker, but with the wired headphones you can change the profiles on the equalizer, as well as put on Dolby optimization, which makes it sound even better. So definitely nice additions there by Nokia. As you could see there as well, there are some other Nokia stuff on there, such as their excellent Maps application, where you can download maps and use it offline. You can also use Nokia Creative Studio to edit pictures. So you don't get all of the Nokia stuff you might get on the higher end handsets, but I think for the price you can't really go wrong with the things you do get. So yeah, I think that about covers it. In regards to Windows 8.1, I am enjoying that as well, like the notification center. Although I do find it is a bit laggy now and again when scrolling it down when you've got quite a few stuff there. But maybe in time they will optimize that to make it a bit more smoother. But overall, I am quite happy with the actual experience with the Lumia 1320. You're not, even though it is a more budget model than the 1520, you're not suffering too much. It's got 4G LTE, it's got NFC, Bluetooth, everything that you need. Coupled with that fantastic battery life, I think this would really suit someone who travels a lot and needs something that will keep going, and it just works basically. So yeah, that about covers it. So if you like the video, please subscribe or like it, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.